guys, welcome to today's video. Make sure you visit podcastformarketers.com for more information. Over there, I have a really kick-ass course on how you can make at least a few grand a month on simple reoccurring revenue, right? And that's called Freedom Funnels. And make sure that you like this video and subscribe to my channel, man. I'm put out videos every day, so you don't want to miss what I put up, because I put out some pretty kick-ass content. And man, I always want you guys to comment below, man. I absolutely love all the comments you guys bring. Let me know what you're thinking. If you have any questions, I'm always in the comment section. I really love the community. Let's get into the video. What's up, guys? So today we're talking about content is king. I did a post in my Facebook group at funnelhackerpro.com. If you're not a member, you need to go check that out, right? So I did a post on content is king and why, content is king still. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this, but back in the day, Google had an update called Panda and another one called like Penguin or something like that. And what they wanted to do is make sure that the user had a good experience. And so what people started doing is, in the beginning, is they were hacking the shit out of Google. I wish I would have got in on this, really. I kind of did, but not good enough. But it was really easy to manipulate Google and get to the #1 spot, right, on Google for what you call long tail keywords. Okay, so a long tail keyword is just like, for instance, if I wanted to get digital marketer and internet marketing is like $12 a click right now on Google, and the competition is ferocious. So it'll be kind of hard, and it'll probably take me 5 to 10 years to get to the #1 spot on Google for that, right? So how to become a digital marketer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's about normal. So 6 is what you would call like a long tail keyword. And while this may not be a #1 search, digital marketer might get searched 100,000 times a month. This may get searched 10,000 times, or maybe even just 1,000 times a month, okay? But if you can get on #1 on Google for that 1,000 times a month for several different long tail keywords, that starts to add up, right? And so that's why people are still doing SEO. They're doing these long tail keywords, and they're still trying to get on there, right? So that still works, right? But what I don't like to do the long tail keywords, because you're kind of leaving it up to Google, or you're leaving it up to YouTube to tell you whether or not you're going to make any money, right? So, but content is king for amplification purposes, and I've been talking about this. You need to amplify, and what you would call amplification is a good word for it, right? There's a syndicate, right? Syndicate your content. And by doing that and advertising and getting eyeballs on it, so like I heard Gary Vee talking about this earlier. He's like, yeah, it's great that you'll be on YouTube, but it could take you 4 years to finally get some eyeballs on your content. I don't think it'll take so long to get eyeballs on your content, but if you want to make it faster, then amplifying that content is appropriate. Now, why content is king is because everybody always thinks that they have a traffic problem, okay? All right, so what the normal person does is they'll put up one article on a blog, okay? Maybe even 2 articles on a blog, and then they're kind of waiting for people from Google to kind of find their content. And it's not going to happen that way, right? So here's what you need to do, and I always talk about this with content and with traffic, and how can you get free traffic? Everybody loves free traffic, right? Everybody loves free traffic. So, and there's nothing wrong with loving free traffic because we want to get eyeballs on what we have. And I had someone ask me, one of my students asked me, why don't you pay for traffic? And my answer was, it's not time for me to pay for traffic yet, right? With this particular business, I do pay for traffic. I have an ad account. You guys see me inside of my ad account. And I do pay for traffic. But for this business, I don't pay for traffic because I want to put up tons and tons and tons of content first, right? My plan is to put up, I think I told somebody, 20,000 YouTube videos. Like, why don't you make a playlist for us? It's like, man, go on somewhere. Using my own shit against me. Well, son, if you're going to have 20,000 videos, can we get you to make playlists? Get the fuck out of here. All right, so I want to put up tons and tons of content, right? Because I understand that content is king. And so I do have a lot of long tail keywords inside of my my videos. And I want to become a power channel, okay? A marketing power channel. And so you can do the same thing for your blog. You can become a power blog for a certain subject. And what happens is Google has no choice. It cannot ignore you anymore. What if you're on a blog, right, and you're talking about Facebook, and that's all you talk about? Eventually, Google's going to say, okay, this guy has 30,000 articles on Facebook marketing. I think we need to put this guy somewhere around the number one spot every time somebody Googles for something, right? And that's the whole game, right? So, but until then, how do you get the free traffic and why content is king? Well, if you're making valuable content, right? And so let's just say it is Facebook traffic that you're talking about, right? And so you've been reading and keeping up on Facebook news, right? And Facebook comes out with something on there. A lot of people do not follow the Facebook business blog, right? I mean, seriously, they just don't. And if this is your business, you need to be following the Facebook business blog. You need to stay on the cutting edge. But everything that Facebook releases, unless you're like at the Facebook campus, they're going to release it on that business blog, right? So let's just say, for instance, Facebook came out with a new ad type, okay? And they've done this before. And let's just use the lead ad type as an example. So what Facebook will do, let's clean this up. So what Facebook will do is they will take this and say, okay, so we're coming out with a new, and they'll put out a blog themselves. We're going to come out with a new lead ad type, okay? Here's what it means for you. Here's how to use it. And here's some resources on what it can do for you, okay? So you take all of this content, right? Repurpose it. Go use the lead ad inside of the Facebook ad manager. Take screenshots of you using it, right? Write up the same thing here, but in your own words, how to use it. Put it in your own words, right? Or make a video on how to use it. It doesn't make any difference, right? And you tell what the benefits are, and you take your own opinion and you say whether or not you think it sucks or not. And you even say it, well, I don't know if this is going to be any good or not. The jury's still out on this, but I'll let you guys know. And then in your comment section, say something like, it's your turn. Comment below what you think about the new ad, right? So you write up this whole new thing about this Facebook lead ads. Now, they just came out with the content. You need to be Johnny on the spot. Write it up right then. You can get Google alerts for this type of thing too, right? All right, so which is really smart because you're in the business, right? So you keep abreast of all the new content, and then what do? That's when you go out. You don't have to worry about free traffic because everybody wants to be interested in what you're talking about. So you write up a nice article. You go to Fiverr and you get a graphic put up for it. You make it nice and neat. Maybe you do a podcast about it. and you do a YouTube video, a separate YouTube video about it, okay? And you place all of this on the page, right? So you place a nice graphic, right? And you talk about what this is about, and you say, here's the audio, right? You put some more content, and you say, here, if you'd like to see the video about it. Now, you get bonuses for this because some people like to listen to their content. Some people like to watch their content, and some people like to read their content, right? So, and you say, okay, so here's your graphic, here's your audio, and then over here on the side, we're going to talk about, getting their email, and maybe you're going to put that in here somewhere. So you can get a good idea of what your content should be looking like, okay? Now, here comes the free traffic part that you were waiting on. You have a piece of valuable content at this point. Okay? It's value. You just put up a piece of valuable content that people want to know. So now all you need to do is just run your keyword search for people that are really talking about Facebook on Twitter. Okay? And you tweet directly. Don't just throw a tweet out there and expect people to pick up your content, right? So I've got this tool called Social Insider, okay? And as a matter of fact, you can get it right now for like a full lifetime license for like $39, okay? So what this does is it'll go look at all of the Facebook influencers, let's just say, on Facebook. It spies on them. It spies on them on YouTube as well. And you can find out who their top users are, who their top followers are, who's retweeting, or who's sharing their content the most, who's commenting the most, right? You find that out, and you tweet these people with this new Facebook content. More than likely, they're going to retweet it. All right? And so you do that, you spy on, there's Instagram tools that you can spy on as well, right? And you direct message and tag people. I think you can tag people like they were actually in a photo kind of on Instagram. It's almost irritating, but this probably would be okay. But use your tags on Instagram, right? And put it on Instagram. Instagram is really good. Instagram is really good for traffic, all right? People do click those links, and they'll follow you, and every time you put up content, they will go look at what you have, right? So you already know on Instagram, you need to go up every day, and you need to follow 100 people. You can do that every hour. You can follow and unfollow 100 people an hour on Instagram, right? Without a bot or with anything. And you can look for influencers on Twitter and on Instagram and in the Facebook niche, okay? You have to do your research. But just tweet them and follow them on Instagram, and then shoot them a message. Hey, man, y'all thought you might be interested in this? An article for them to check out. Don't sell them anything. They will retweet that, or they'll do it on Facebook. And the same thing goes on Facebook. Now, here's some really cool shit on Facebook you can do, right? So let's just say you want to get your article on the eyeballs of somebody that may work for a certain company, right? So you can do your research, and it'll pop up inside of Facebook, and you find out who works for, let's just say it's Harley Davidson, right? I did this search before. And you can find that Harley Davidson has 5,000 employees. If you want to get their eyeballs on, like, maybe say you had a motorcycle niche article or something like that, right? Something that had to do with Harley Davidson, something awesome that they would want to have in their marketing department themselves, or they would retweet that or they would share it on Facebook to all of their people. Just take an ad, okay, and target the employees for Harley Davidson only and send it out there and really have it personalized for them. This is really works right here. Get the right eyeballs on your content, okay? So that's not free, but obviously that's just a really slick way to get. Let's just say, for instance, you were you wanted to start a marketing agency, right? You wanted a bigger contract, or you wanted to really work with someone like that. Getting eyeballs is really easy that way. All right, so the next thing I wanted to tell you was, at that point, then you go to all your social media places like LinkedIn. All right, and you take that article that you've already written and you write it up again on LinkedIn, but you only write it up halfway, and then leave your website and say, for the rest of the article, click here. Now you're starting to get traffic and run traffic, right? And then you share it on Google Plus. You share it on that, what is it called? Quora, whatever, that new shit, right? There's several different places for you to share it on the internet, right? And then you just take and you find these influencers and you tweet them, you direct message people, and on LinkedIn, you leave it up on LinkedIn, and then leave those links in the groups on LinkedIn, especially things like new Facebook, when they roll out new features on Facebook and things like that of that nature. If that's what you're doing, right? So you leave it in groups. And you tag different people. You can even email this out, right? So now here we're talking about cold email again, okay? So if you have a cold email list of people, like let's say, for instance, that would be in your industry. Let's just say, for instance, you can email this to all the marketers in the industry, right? That would retweet your content, okay? Or they would share your content, right? So just cold email them. Right? Now, cold email is free. Okay? So just tell them, say, hey, man, I thought that you might be interested in this article. Put a little blurb in the article, put your graphic that you had in there and make that clickable, right? If it's a YouTube video, this will increase clicks by actually taking a screenshot of the video and putting a big play button right there, right? And they'll click on it like they think it'll play right there in the email. And then say, click the link here. Right? It's real simple. I thought you'd be interested in it. Facebook just rolled out some new features. It's going to affect the entire industry. It's just really going to be great if you're an early adopter. People like to feel, being in a secret, right? So send out a bunch of cold emails with that. People will share your content, right? That's it. That's why content is king. When you have something valuable and you're writing up valuable things, people want to share that content. That will get more traffic to come to your page. Now, here's the cool thing. Once you do this for quite a while, and I would say do one a day for, a couple of years, people will start to keep an eye out and watch your blog. Okay? People will get notifications when you put out a new piece of content. And when you share content, people are going to trust you. There's a good word. That you're not going to be spamming people and trying to sell them shit. So they'll share your content because you have a clean blog, right? The next thing is they're going to know who you are. And they're going to know your brand, right? So you see this, right? And they're going to like you. This dude is cool, right? So that's that whole trust, know, and like feature. And why content is king, folks. Coffee break.